All right, for the first part of segment 1 today, we are diving into Alternity. Now, we have talked a lot in terms of Alternity about how to roll the dice, how the skill system works, and generally speaking, how to play the game, how to add modifiers, how to make things more difficult, easier, etc., etc. Well, now is the time that every role-playing nerd wants to deal with, and that is weapons and armor. What happens when I pew pew you, and what makes this game interesting and unique? And why would you want to run this at your table? We're going to take a look at that right now. Okay, so I'm actually not going too badly out of order today.
Okay.
It's
I'm really happy about this because throughout this, I've been talking, how hard is it to actually kill somebody? We haven't talked about armor or damage or nothing. I want to know how hard it is to kill folk.
Make sure you have a couple D6s with you.
Okay.
Well, we're gonna talk about some of that today. And that's not it. Action. Wait, it says page 11 equipment. Oh, there it is. Each character template, if you remember from the first video, we showed those little templates, those like half-page character sheets. Because this is in the quick play section here. Each character template includes a section of equipment the hero has access to, one or more weapons, some type of armor, and other gear. The game data given for weapons and armor is explained below. Before we do that, though, just so you can have some numbers in your noodle, let's just look at this first one here. Weapons. You see, it's going to look weird to you right now. It's an 11mm charge rifle. It does a d6 plus 1 wound damage, a d6 plus 3 wound damage, and a d6 plus 1 mortal damage. How do I know all that? Well, we're going to talk about that in a moment. It's got ranges. We're not really going to dive into the ranges today. I think you can figure that out if you ever played a role-playing game before. And HI means it's high impact. That's going to determine how the armor rolls to resist the damage. We're going to talk about all that. Well, here we go. We got armor, battle jacket. So he would roll a d4 plus 1 to resist high impact damage. So we'll get to that in a little bit. Let's get back to where we were up here. Talk more about this as we go forward here. The numbers on the line identifying a weapon indicate how much damage the weapon inflicts on an ordinary, good, or amazing success. Notice it went 1d6 plus 1 for ordinary, 1d6 plus 3 for good, and then I forgot what the mortal damage was. Was it 1d6 or 1d4 mortal damage? I already forgot.
It was 1d4 plus something.
There you go. 1d4 plus 1 mortal damage. That would be an amazing success. This damage is either stun S, wound W, or mortal M. And let's just, for the sake of clarity, I know Heathen Dog gets this, but I want to make sure you get it out there. That's this right here. Here's the W. That's the wound. That's the wound.
Oh, it is.
And that's mortal damage. What's that?
It is D6.
Yeah, it is D6. Okay. So, down here, unarmed, is stun damage, and oh, look, still stun damage. Okay. So that's how you read that chart.
Okay. So your success level will dictate your base damage dice.
Your base damage, exactly. Yes.
Okay.
All right. On the next line, the range gives the distance at which a weapon can strike a target. Either personal if physical contact is necessary, or a series of numbers representing short, medium, long range in meters for a weapon that fires projectiles or energy beams. The range at which a weapon is used often has an effect on the attacker's chance of hitting the target, as explained in the Game Master's Guide Fast Play Rules. Game Master's Guide, yeah. Type refers to the kind of damage a weapon inflicts, either low impact, high impact, or energy.
Okay.
For armor, the die ranges preceding Li, Hi, and En indicate the amount of damage the armor stops when the wearer is hit by a weapon that does this type of damage. The subtraction from a die roll produces a result less than 1. The armor failed to block any damage on that attack.
Oh, right. Yeah, you can get less than 1 because I saw that it's like a D6 minus 1. You could roll a 0.
Yeah. I think there's some really light armors that are like a D6 minus 3 in the game too, if I remember correctly.
That's gross.
All right. Okay, 174. hey, how do we read the weapons table? I am not going to read this entire blue area. I'm going to read the parts that really do matter for your game. So obviously weapon, the skill is the skill that you need to use. Sorry, so let me read it as it says it here because it's about untrained. The name, often abbreviated, of the skill a character needs to avoid using the weapon untrained. So if you are not trained in heavy weapons and you pick up an RPG, you're going to be using that weapon untrained. And
Sure.
we'll look at that in a moment. Accuracy. This is an optional rule.
Accuracy
Because
is
it's
optional.
what's that?
Accuracy
because
is optional.
because it provides a bonus or penalty to the weapon's ability to hit.
Okay. Okay.
Starts adding. So I'm not going to read it. It's on the screen long enough for you to read on your own. Mode not applicable to melee weapons. This is was it phase burst? Yeah, phase burst or auto fire. We're not going to pay much attention to that as well because we didn't really cover all of that in the skills. It's just part of the skills section. It's just going to be modifiers to your situation die. Range, we already said that. Type. All right, let's take a look at this. Even though we already covered it, this is going to be the thing that you care about the most. The first listing under type describes the form of damage the weapon inflicts: low impact, high impact, or energy. The second listing describes a weapon's firepower: ordinary, good, or amazing. This is a confusing thing, but here's what I'm going to tell you. It really only matters at high tech levels. So if you're playing a far future game, this is going to mean a lot more than if you're just playing a modern game or a near future game. I looked at the stats on this, but this is how it works. If a weapon's firepower is inferior to the toughness of the armor, so yes, that means armor will have a very similar rating. Any damage the weapon inflicts is degraded. Mortal becomes wounds, for instance. More information on degrading is given later in the chapter. Like I said, this is not common. It can happen, so don't stress over this. But essentially, if I've got good armor and you have an ordinary weapon, that 1d6 plus 1 wounds now becomes 1d6 plus 1 stun.
Okay. Okay. So, higher quality weapons and armor increase or decrease the damage staging, I guess you'd call it.
Sure.
Okay. All right.
I like the rule, but only because I'm an experienced game master and I tend to be a little more simulationist in my mind. I don't think it's a good rule for new players.
No.
I think personally, I think this should have been just as optional as accuracy. I like it.
Because obviously new players are going to have ordinary stuff like all the time. You're a brand new player.
Again, it's more based on it'll be more prevalent when I show armor after because we're doing weapons right now.
Mhm.
But there are only a few armors that have this, and if I remember correctly from the table, they're all at the higher end tech. Like we're talking tech level 8, tech level 9 stuff. So if you're not playing in a game with faster than light travel and a million aliens running around, you might not come across this anyway. So, but we'll look at. We got a couple tables to look at where we'll show examples of this. So the amount of damage a weapon inflicts. So this is damage. When used in the proper manner, figures are given in ordinary, good, amazing order. And the appropriate damage is applied depending on the result of the wielder's skill check. We did not talk about that, I know. Not gonna dive into it. It's for heavy armor operation, folks. It's under skills. We looked at it for just a second, and I said I'm not gonna talk about it. These are all things that if you're serious about playing the game, you're gonna pick up very quickly. But we're gonna, for the sake of our presentation here, we are going to move past that. Actions. So this optional rule: number of times the weapon can be used in a single round. I don't know why that's optional, but maybe somebody can explain that to me. I don't care either way. It just seems like you have a lot of optional rules all of a sudden. And then I don't care about clip size. Hide is if you're trying to hide the weapon. Mass is its size.
So it's like concealment rather than hide.
Yeah.
Conceal on your person. Okay.
Yeah. They just call it hide, probably for table space. So let's look at these tables now. The one I want to look at a particular weapon, not because I like it or hate it, but it's something I think everybody can relate to. Information, age. There we go. I want to look at a 9mm. Third one down. So 9mm is a modern pistol.
Sure.
I don't know what that is that ordinary? Oh no, that's
Age.
accuracy
Oh,
is 0.
accuracy 0. Okay, so if you're using the optional for accuracy, it doesn't apply here.
Right. MD. What's MD again? FFBA. Oh, it's firearm. Right? Wait, no, what is it? What is MD again? Oh, mode. That's right. Phase. I always forget phase because they do F.
F for phase? That's gross.
Yeah, right. So that means basically you can shoot it once per phase. Now you can argue about what about triple tapping? I know that's something I like to say all the time, but no. Look at the Game Master Guide. Maybe we'll talk about it more down here. So, progress level 5. Range 61250 in yards. And then here we go. It's high impact. So it's going to be high impact damage when it comes to the armor.
Okay.
And ordinary quality.
Quality. Yeah.
So that will only matter. And you know, see all these O's here?
Yeah, a lot of O's.
Remember when I said that the whole quality thing isn't going to come up a lot? Oh, wait. Now we're a couple of categories down and we got a good. We've got a good.
It's an energy gun.
Yep.
Another energy gun. Another energy gun. Yeah, there is no slug thrower that's better than ordinary.
Unless there is up this way. Nope, there aren't. So, like I said, you're not going to come across it a lot. Sure, I'm on the right pistol 9mm. Okay. So the damage for a 9mm, if you get an ordinary success, is 1d4 plus 1 wounds. Okay. I guess you should probably have a d4 or 2 ready also. In case we need that. If you get a good success, it's 1d4 plus 2 wounds. It doesn't sound like much more. Well, we'll talk about that in the next video. And then if you get an amazing success, it's 1d4 mortal damage. And I'll do a little spoiler. If you have a 10 constitution, that means you have 5 mortal boxes.
Ooh, so that could just kill you.
It could come very close to killing you, yeah. If you're full up, yep. And there are also some other issues that we'll talk about in the next video, or either next video or video after. Mortal damage isn't the same as wound and stun damage. So yes, that messes your day up. I don't want to dive too much into this more. Is there anything that you're confused on, Heathen Dog, when it comes to this, or that I don't want to overdo this when it comes to some of these features? But it's just a pistol. The key is what type of damage it is, and we're going to compare this to some armor in just a moment. We're going to get to the armor in just a minute here, so we're actually going to show the comparisons here. But let's get our 9mm.
Yeah, the one thing that I can't let go is the differing ranges. Does that affect damage, accuracy, or both?
This would affect accuracy.
Okay, so how does that work?
It's a difficulty modifier. We talked about that in I think the second or third video, but it just it adds to your situation die.
Okay, so it's like what, one step or 2 steps harder?
You know what? I'm going to be honest with you. I forget off the top of my head because I have not played this. I forget if it requires a good success or if it's 1 to 2 steps harder. I don't remember off the top of my head. We can look it up real quickly. It's just under range combat in the skills section. What page is the skills? Where are my other note cards? They're there. Skills. Somebody might be putting in chat as we talk though. Skills. There we go. 61.
Yeah, the reason I ask is because a lot of people gauge their build, especially with a ranged weapon build, on how does the range affect my ability to do the pew pew correctly.
Yeah, this is why I don't even like the term build when it comes to characters. Just play a character. All right, so armor operation. So this armor operation, we're going to skip it again, but this is what it's talking about when it says, hey, armor skill check. Okay. Combat powered armor. It's going to be under dexterity.
Yeah, again, people, Alternity is a very poorly organized book. The things you need and want are not in the places you think that they should be. Or that they should be.
Will be. I'm just making sure I don't miss it. So ranged weapons. Then we covered this actual skill. Wants to change other factors that can influence our ranged weapon attack modifiers on this page. Okay. The base situation die. Got it. Any modifiers? I don't see anything for range. Being obscured, dodging. Decided by the game master. Where's range? Distance. That's weird. Ranged weapon primitive. I don't care about that.
Oh no, there it is. There it is. There it is. Zoom out.
Okay.
It's in the bottom right-hand corner. Keep going. Scroll down. There it is. Range modifiers by weapon type: short, medium, long.
Oh, I only saw the primitive, so I thought that was just for throwing crap. Okay.
Yep. So the pistol is 9mm. Short range is automatically -1.
That's good.
That's yeah, but I thought usually short range is the base, like 0. So
Well,
short range is great for a pistol, rifle, or submachine gun. Oh, pretty much anything really. Medium is +1, and long range for primitive is +2, pistol is +3, and rifle is +1. I like that.
I remember
like that a
we
lot.
covered this when we actually talked about ranged weapons. So
Okay, well, for those of you who haven't seen that, this is the first time in a long time where I've seen a game just basic out of the box, not per weapon, but if you have a rifle which is made to shoot longer distances, you get less of a penalty for, guess what? Longer distances. In most games, it's based on the rifle. You must have a sniper type rifle to get that. All other rifles you're just jacked. No, I like this a lot. I like this a lot.
Okay. And if you're like, oh my God, Max, you just read that in a previous video. Yeah, that was like 3 weeks ago. And I have not played the actual game other than rolling some dice with myself. And I haven't done that recently either. So, yes, there we go. We're at 177. But other than that, I think we got the basics down. You're going to make your attack roll. You're going to compare, see what type of success it is. If it's a failure, if it's a ordinary success, a good success, or an amazing success. And then you're probably like, yeah, then I'll roll my damage. Oh, no. Heathen Dog's wearing armor when I shoot him with that 9mm. So let's go to page 189. Can't read my own writing here, so 190. And we're going to start here because this is backward. They put this after the armor.
Nice.
So armor, same thing. It's the name of it. Skill. If the armor operation skill or one of its specialty skills is necessary to use the armor for, with full effectiveness, this listing identifies the skill in question. It's for far future games where you're wearing
if you have power armor or exo armor or whatever that requires skill to use, then yeah. But if you're just wearing like a bulletproof vest, that doesn't require any skill to use. So, it just works.
Now, here's something Heathen Dog will reminisce on a little bit when it comes to this is very similar to Earth Dawn.
Okay.
Action penalty.
Okay.
The mass and bulk of heavier armors act to slow down its user.
Okay.
A number other than 0 here indicates a penalty that is applied to each action check made by the wearer. Now, let's be very clear about this. It's action check. So if you normally roll an action check of, we'll just say a D20 with no control roll modifier for whatever reason, just go with that. Well, now you're going to have an action check penalty of 1 step, which means you're rolling a D20 plus a D4. Remember, you're trying to hit a target number. This isn't like most games where just the highest number goes first. Yep. You're trying to go in a particular phase. And by the way, I have an answer for somebody who left a comment for us about advantages and disadvantages of going first or last within a phase that hopefully Heathen Dog will remind me to talk about at the end. If not, oh well. Okay. So with that said, yeah, so this makes your action check harder to make. Less chance that you're going to be going right away. If you're wearing that big, that Warhammer 40K Empire armor that goes thud, thud, thud everywhere you walk, chances are you're not moving quickly. You know what the benefit is, though? You might not be moving quickly, but it really doesn't matter.
No, you're a wall. They're shooting a wall. That's it. Yeah.
So there we go. Type the toughness rating of the armor, either ordinary, good. Oh, that's it. Just or amazing. Okay, amazing is for vehicles only, and we're not covering vehicles, so it can be ordinary or good. We showed that with the weapons. I'll show it here with the armor as well. It's about just as many armor as there were weapons, so you're not going to find a million of those. It's not going to be something you really necessarily run into right away, unless you're playing a far future game and you have money to start. A weapon with an ordinary rating has its damage degraded by 1 level from mortal to wound, wound to stun, or stun to no damage when used against armor with good rating. So weapon ordinary, gun good. I'm sorry, weapon ordinary, armor good means you do less damage. All right. Armor with an ordinary rating provides the wearer with no such benefit. That means you're rolling normally. Each weapon and by the way, it doesn't work backward. A firearm with a good rating against armor of ordinary doesn't do extra damage because you're already doing the damage of the weapon. Okay. Each type of armor is rated for its effectiveness and stopping primary damage of each of the 3 categories. Low impact, we're right here. High impact and energy. When a character wearing armor is hit by an attack, the number in the appropriate section of this column is subtracted from the damage caused. We're going to show an example of that. We're going to talk about it. So let's just wait for the example because the rest of it is just doing the numbers that we kind of already showed you. Hide is if you're trying to wear clothes over your armor.
Sure.
That's really it. Now, let's go look at the armor. Now, I want to do something in the same thing. So we were at progress level 5 for the 9mm. So let's give Heathen Dog some assault gear. That just sounds cool.
Yeah. Giddy up.
So you're going to be action penalty plus 3 steps.
That's horrible. But I got time.
But you got time. All right. What I'm going to do is I'm going to roll and we're going to make life easy here. Actually, no, I'm not even going to roll. Not even going to roll. I don't care. I shoot Heathen Dog. I hit him. Let's just say it's an ordinary success. All right.
Okay.
So I'm going to have to go back and forth here. So this is page 189. I think the other one was 177. I was right. Okay. So I'm shooting him with this 9mm.
Pew, pew.
I hit him. And I said it was an ordinary success, right?
Yep.
So that means I do a D4 plus 1 wound damage. Where's my D4? Hey, where'd you go? I do 3 plus 1. So I do 4 points of wound damage to him.
That's horrible.
Nuh-uh. Oh, let me just go 189. Heathen Dog's wearing his assault gear. He gets to roll a D6 minus 1. Oh, no, sorry. It's high impact. High impact is the middle. So I'm shooting high
they're
impact.
All the same.
That's fair.
For me, they're all the same.
Oh, I should have picked Battle Vest then.
That's okay.
Oh, well.
That's all right.
Oh, so he rolls a D6 minus 1.
3.
Okay. 1 of my points. I rolled 4 damage total. He got 3 resistance. So he takes a total of 1 point of wound damage. Why is it wound? Because I did wound damage to him. And what he did is he reduced it to 1. Good news for Heathen Dog is not much happens with 1 wound of damage, and we'll talk about that in the next video. If I had done 2, there'd have been an extra additional effect in there. But
I don't like that. Well, what are the numbers afterward?
What do you mean? What are the numbers afterward?
Yeah, after the armors, there's a dash and then a 10.
Well, the dash is for your hide.
Oh, availability. The
Yeah.
dash is what?
Yep,
Oh, the
so
hide. Yeah, probably not hiding assault armor. Yeah, okay, fair enough.
And then it's mass, it's just its weight, availability, and then cost. And of course, cost is always going to be subjective to the game master.
But hang on. Since we're doing armor, what if I had assault gear, but it also says riot helmet and riot shield? Is that connected? Is that the same?
Yes, you literally just add these on. That's a good question. I'm glad you asked it. So what you would have then is instead of 1d6 minus 1, as long as you're actually wielding the shield and wearing the helmet, it would be 1d6 straight
plus 1,
and then 1d6 plus 1. Yep.
Okay, so if I had a helmet on, I would have taken no damage.
Correct.
All right. So that's it, kids. Always wear your helmet. When you go into a firefight, wear your helmet.
There are rules for, do I have that in here or not? Yeah, there are rules for armor degradation. And for some reason, I didn't have that in here to go. That might be in the Game Master Guide, though. Now that I think about it.
That's fine. I mean, I'm not a big fan of armor degradation in most games anyway. So I understand it. I get it. I just don't like it overly much.
I like armor degradation, but I think that most games either hand wave it too much so it doesn't matter, or they make it so deadly That's like, oh, your armor got hit with a sword once, you got to go replace, So
Yeah.
yeah, I can't tell you if this game is on one extreme or the other. I think it was in because I was paging through the Game Master Guide yesterday, and I think I saw it in there, but I might be wrong. Anyway, the point of this video isn't to tell you everything about weapons and armor, to explain how a grav mace works or what every role is. It's to show you this one important part, the most important part about you roll the attack roll and then you resist it. Now, what would have happened if I had rolled mortal damage to him? If I got that amazing success and I did the 1d6 mortal damage to him?
I would have
Well,
taken 1 mortal damage.
right.
And what would that do? Does that mean I'm starting to die? I'm bleeding out?
Well, short answer is yes, but we'll talk
Oh,
about that in.
I don't like the short answer. Give me the long answer.
Well, the long answer will be in the next video when we talk about
Oh, okay.
character
All right.
damage.
Fair enough.
So this one is just about comparing the armor because the action phase and this part of combat are really the only two things that are wildly different from most tabletop RPGs. Everything else you'll find in a tabletop RPG. Of course, they've tweaked it. They might do it a little differently here. But this armor, this weapon damage versus armor resistance, the way it's done here and reading these codes, it's like reading a Shadowrun code, kind of. 3M2.
Yeah, it's missing a letter, but yeah, I mean, in most games nowadays, or even most games that I've played, armor is usually a static value. And it's the damage that's variable. In this one, both are variable.
Yep. And I like it. I'll be upfront. I like it. Now, let me answer that question. Somebody made a comment on a video, like, wouldn't there be an advantage for going last in a phase?
Oh, yeah, I have that right here. Yeah.
Because
Polyrobotics for
be like, well, I'll just know what's going on. This is what I've done with people who have actually played the game. This is what they've told me. Okay. What you do is you roll all the attack rolls basically at the same time. Not like you roll 1, 2, 3. It's just I roll, Heathen Dog rolls. We don't roll damage. We don't roll resistance. We don't roll anything else. So if Heathen Dog says he's shooting me and I say I'm shooting him, I roll my attack roll. He rolls his attack roll. We figure out if one of us hit, both of us hit, both of us missed, whatever. Then we go into okay, now let's figure out the damage phase. Because I understand what people are saying, because in Battletech, for example, when you win initiative, you go last because you get to see where everybody else goes. Firing is considered simultaneous, so you don't care. I saw you go there. I saw you. Oh, so now I know I'm going to go over here. In this one, the way I'm told is that you roll the action, the skill rolls, but you don't follow up with that until everybody's rolled. So no, you don't get to sit there and see if Heathen Dog's dead first and then say, you know what, I'm just going to shoot Max instead. Because you're going in this phase and you declared your action in this phase, you're going in this phase. You roll your action, I roll my action, he rolls his action, and then we determine the result of that and apply it at the end of the phase.
Just like Battletech, the main advantage to going last in a phase is that everyone has made their movements before you.
Yeah, well, again, the people I've talked to said they usually just do a round robin. Now, there is a rule in the game, and again, I don't know if it's a Game Master Guide or if it's in the Player's Handbook, it might even be in both, that says this. Heathen Dog goes in the amazing phase and the good phase. I go in the good phase and the ordinary phase. That's how we want to picture this, okay? So Heathen Dog goes in the amazing. So he goes and does his action. Maybe he shoots me, maybe he just jumps up and down, whatever, who cares? He does his thing, right? In the next phase, the people who didn't previously go, the book says typically they go first. It's still all simultaneous, but they act first, so that somebody like Heathen Dog can't just get two actions. Just I did this, I stole this, and I ran away, and you can't do anything about it.
Okay. Even though everything happens at the same time, so it doesn't really matter. It's just morale killing that I got to go and I get to go again.
I guess, yeah. But
yeah,
what most
I don't see any book benefit to saying that.
Well, but tables always come up with things that you don't see the benefit or the drawback right then and there, but then somebody tries something weird, and you're like, yeah, okay. Like in Palladium for us, when somebody's trying to run and it's so simple, just say, you know what, just split the movement by divided by how many actions you have until somebody's trying to run kind of a race sort of thing. Like, wait a second, if I have more actions, I actually move less than him until my last action. That doesn't make sense. I'm faster. So weird things can always crop up in games. So people have these unwritten rules. Some are written rules. The main one that I've heard in terms of people who've actually sat at the table and played the game is that they just go in clockwise order.
Okay.
So who's going in the amazing phase? Us. All right, I start here and then I go there and then I go there. Okay, who's going in the good phase? Oh, now it's 4 people. Okay, there. They just go in like clockwise order. That's what I've heard that they do.
Okay.
So how you run it at your table? I would stress though that if somebody is really trying to find a way to defeat the initiative system or use it against the game master, even the game master using it against the players, one, you're not playing within the spirit of the game, and I'd go tell you to F yourself. And second, just don't allow it. Just game master say no. There you go. That's the response to that. Play it within the spirit that it's intended, which is the phases are what's supposed to dictate who goes first. But anyway, let me get this off the screen. Let's see what comments we've got. And
that was the one I had starred.
okay. There was one I wanted. I think it was Full Metal Dragon. Set it. Oh yeah, right there. Why are we not covering the different kinds of tech and tech levels? Because for the purposes of playing the game, I don't think they're that important. I get why you're saying that. So I'll make a quick answer here. Anybody who's played Traveler will understand this immediately. You haven't played Traveler, like, yeah, what is that about? This game can be played at different tech levels. You technically could play this as a fantasy game. I wouldn't. It's best in terms of modern to near future to far future to, oh my God, so super far future. It's crazy. It is baked into it. I forget how many tech levels there are. I'm just going to say there's 10. There might be 12. There might be 8. I forget. But if you're starting at tech level 0, you're Stone Age. And if you're going to tech level 10, you basically
Star
can
Trek.
think it and it happens. Oh, it's beyond Star Trek.
Beyond Star Trek? Oh,
it's transhumanism.
Okay. All right.
Now, the game is just a core. It is just as expandable as Traveler, as GURPS, as Palladium, as whatever you want, Gamma World, whatever. There are settings out there. Star Drive and Dark Matter, I think, are the 2 official ones. I have some of Star Drive. I don't have any of Dark Matter. They will actually give you different skills. If you get the Cyberware, Dataware, whatever it's called, Dataware book, it gives you a whole different grouping of skills depending on the race. You can play an AI robot, basically a C-3PO alien, and it will give you a completely different list of skills. This book,
one of them being,
core.
being a complete bitch.
Sure, well, I don't think for this race it was that, but yeah, if you're actually going into the Star Wars side. So the Game Master's Guide has a lot in there about how to tailor campaigns to the setting you want. I've only had one person say this, but he's like, that book seems kind of limiting. It was specific on the skill list. It's not. This is just the base. The Game Master's Guide goes into more about making new skills. I think it talks about the skateboarding skill. If you really want the skateboarding skill, you can add that to your game. Just put it under reflexes and call it a day, or dexterity, whatever, and call it a day. So it is a very customizable game. It just doesn't tell you that in the player's handbook because this is an old TSR book. And what do old TSR players' handbooks all have in common? It only has the very basic player-facing stuff. So that's so I'll leave it there. But yes, there are technology levels in the game, and you pick it. And can you play with mixed tech levels? It doesn't make sense, but I suppose you could. I mean, all the tech levels
No, definitely can. It does make perfect sense. All you have to do is have an alien invasion scenario in your world. You have modern tech levels, like say 5, whatever, and this alien race came to subjugate humanity, and they have tech level 8 or 7 or whatever.
Yeah, the game would still be considered the higher tech level, but I get what you're saying. No, yeah, I mean, that's a perfect Star Trek type thing. You do an exploration, you go to a Stone Age, Tech 0 planet. You go to a modern 1990s, information age planet. So yeah, you can absolutely mix it that way, but be careful. What happens with First Contact if you give them your weapons. All right, so that is going to be it for this. Where is my... All right, please like, hype, comment, share, and super thank. Thanks to folks out there for the commentary. Next video, we are going to dive into, we've talked about how damage is done. Well, now we're going to actually look at what damage is. When we talk about character damage and the character's durability, it should be, I'm jinxing it by saying this, but it should be a quick video, because really all we're going to do is cover what does it mean to be stunned? What does it mean to be wounded? What does it mean to have mortal damage? We're even going to skip fatigue, because it really doesn't matter for the purposes of trying to get you interested in the game. So let's look forward to that next time. Hope to see you then.